Hey, so we're back, and today we're going to talk about the movie Glass. So, if you have not seen the movie Glass, go watch the movie Glass really quick and then come back, and we're just going to talk about the examples of how I feel and just my whole experience and what I got from the movie. But this is the movie starring Samuel L. Jackson, and he is basically the X Men, the Xavier of this movie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cultivating the whole plan, and it's such a major plot in the outcome. So, just to round it up, the movie Glass interprets different types of superheroes that have studied comic books as children, and they internalize the behaviors and the mentality of the superheroes from the comics and put them into themselves as a form of trauma response. And we are going to dive deeper into different ways that they all put their trauma into becoming these real life superheroes. So the first person we are going to talk about is Samuel L. Jackson. And I can say that to me, unfortunately, he's probably my favorite character only because of the simple fact of his mind is so powerful. He was able to project and think about the future in a way that nobody probably the mind doesn't really go that far, if that makes sense. So I think that that was something that's very beautiful. Now the actions that was taking, no, it's fucking narcissistic. But as far as just how intelligent he was, to know that from the responses and the reactive situations that this would be the outcomes of all the situations, right? Samuel L. Jackson disturbed a train, and on this train was the character from the movie Split. Now, Split is a movie where it is a guy, he has multiple personalities. He kidnaps children, girls, and he like eats them and like turns into like this beast monster. But like basically, that's a whole nother movie in itself that we are going to talk about on a later date, but we're going to stick back to Glass. So basically, they do invite the character from Split into the movie Glass, and they tell his story as well. And his name is technically Kevin Wendell Crumb. Kevin Wendell Crumb was abused as a child from his mother, but on this train was his father. Character, which was by Bruce Willis, I believe that's his name. He has he has the power of super strength, right? Um, and he also dealt with trauma, but he was on the train that became disruptive. Now, Kevin's dad did die, and because his dad did die and was no longer around, his abusive mother had full custody of him and was able to abuse him. And that is how he turned out with all the personalities. Now, he did, from what I do understand, I believe he already did have mental things going on because his father was trying to get research and understand more about it. But him already having multiple personality disorder and then being with a very abusive mother, it only hypered the other personalities, if that makes sense, and not made him be able to be in control of his own personal personality, his main personality, if that makes sense. The person that's in the front seat, Kevin. That if you watch the movie, there are scenes in the movie where Kevin does come to the light and he's like, no, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. And it's because of the simple fact of the fear that that got instilled in him as a child from his mother. It's so sad, unfortunately. She needs her fucking ass whooped. Anyway, so that is that character. Samuel L. Jackson got on the train. He messed the train up basically, and that was the catalyst of these people's growth time story, if that makes sense. Him disrupting the train started off Split in that character with all the multiple personalities. Him becoming the beast because of the simple fact he created this character because he felt like he needed to be safe and protected. He knew that he would need some type of otherworldly character to protect him. Like for instance, in the comic books you would read, it will always be like a scary person or a big thing that, comes and saves the world. Like for instance, the Hawk. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that depiction was made off of like his trauma. So Samuel L. Jackson, mind you, these are all plans from Samuel L. Jackson. Like he thought of this from Kevin being a kid and him having to stay at home with his mother. He knew that this would be the escalation of his mental illness. Then also too with Bruce Willis. I don't know why I don't call this man Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee is the kung fu guy, but Bruce Willis, also him being on the train and having the traumatic experience as far as him losing his memory, mind, also too just the simple aspects of that whole thing. Like for instance, as a child I cracked my skull and it honestly changed me a lot in how I got messages, perceived messages, and also otherworldly things, right? um So that is another trauma response as well. So he made all these people connected in this one story, okay? So that's just to sum it up, right? Each person had to deal with their own personal trauma. And that is something with their stories that I want to correlate with regular life, as far as people that are chosen, people that are different, people that have gifts, and people that are, they tell us, oh, you have something on you or upon you, or you're chosen, like, etc. Like, what I'm saying? In the movie, he shows that how trauma can make you otherworldly. So say for an example, for an example, for Bruce Willis, he had the trauma of drowning because he was bullied, and it made him extremely strong. Like, he's able to break down steel doors. Like, what I'm saying? But that came from the fear of his trauma. He was able to have that go on. So it's like, and the same thing, for instance, with Split. He became this beast character because of the trauma from his mother. Him feeling like he needed this character in order to protect him, he became a beast. And if you watch the show, this man is ripping through people like an animal. Like, he's literally breaking through wires, just doing a lot of stuff, right? He may not have gifts like as to where it's like, oh, like Carrie, and we can have flame balls coming out. But because of the trauma that we go through, it does give us gifts. You know what I'm saying? It makes us otherworldly and not like everyone else in the world. And that is a superpower. So that's something that I wanted to bring to the attention and my perspective, and what I got from the movie was the effect of how that I think a lot of chosen people, we see it like, oh, well, if we're so special, why can't we do this and why can't we do that? But it's because our trauma, our things around us, like, say for instance, I'm a person that was brought up around a lot of narcissists. So something that I have been able to do was read body language. You know what I'm saying? Behavior, verbal, like, also read other things when someone, also to me being dyslexic, me read other things about people that may not be said, but I can understand in another context, if that makes sense. That is like a superpower. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm able to read and understand things in a different way. And for anybody else, it's anything is, or from your traumatic experience, how that changed you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So definitely a big reflective type movie. And another thing that was very reflective, because to me, was the woman was there trying to show them and doubt these people that they were not special. They were trying to give scientific proof. And she was trying to give scientific proof as to how these people were able to do these extraordinary things. You know what I'm saying? At the end, plot twist, she knew all along that these people were extraordinary. It's her job to go around. So you will have people that doubt you. You will have people that tell you that it's not real. You will have people that tell you that you're not special. You will have people that tell you that you don't have gifts, but you do. They want to hide it. Just imagine me being a spiritualist. I'm a tarot reader. I'm a person that's supposed to awaken people. Imagine if I awaken 1,000 people and get 1,000 people out the matrix. Do you know how much damage that can do? Just imagine. So they don't want you to know. They don't want you to think that these superpowers and this shit is real. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's why another thing at the end of the movie, that's why I said I love Samuel L. Jackson, because he played that fucking role so well, to the point where she thought that she won. And that's how your enemies and these devils will think. They will think they won. But you must be 10 steps ahead of them always, because you have the gift. You're the superhero, literally. And that's the one thing about Samuel L. Jackson in that movie. He didn't physically have the gift. His body was actually very pruned. The main thing that was his gift was his mind. He couldn't bite through people like the beast, and he couldn't be super strong like the other man, but his mind was extremely powerful, extremely powerful. So it doesn't matter what your gift is, use it. And what he did was what his gift was, he was 10 steps ahead of the people who thought they were smart. He was 10 steps smarter than the people he thought they were smarter than the people that they had. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's the blessing in it as well, because if y'all go watch the movie, if you have seen the movie, in the end, she says she thought she cleaned it up. Oh, it's wrapped up. We killed them all. It's all such and such. We handled it. Everything's good. And even Samuel L. Jackson said, this is the beginning. Like, you know what I'm saying? And she realized this was a suicide. This was the show. And if you see the 3 family members there in the train station, they posted on social media, because social media is a very big way to expand the minds, for things to be seen, for things to be experienced. That's why when mermaid sightings come out, or extraordinary things and UFOs and this, that, they either take it down if it's too much controversial or whatever. It's a lot. They show us in our face. We just be kind of ignorant to it, if that makes sense. But the family members showed the video of what these three people that they were connected to were able to do. And as you see in the movie, people are like, what the hell? Because it's like, a lot of us think that this stuff is not real. So imagine I was to come here and tell you that you have gifts, you have powers, use them. And you're like, no, I don't. None of that shit's not real. It's all fantasy. It's in movies, but it is. And that's what the world don't want y'all to know. You know what I'm saying? And that's the main thing as to why, for instance, people, they show so much in movies, because they have to show it in a way to where the people that do pick it up, i.e. for myself, and I'm able to see it and explain it, versus someone just watching a movie and they seeing it as entertainment, versus the deeper message. So I'm able to spread the message and break it down to other people, if that makes sense. Just talk about this movie because it's very extraordinary to me, and a lot of the messages that are in the movie that just show the powers that we have, and taking our pain into power, putting our pain into power. You know what I'm saying? And making it something that could be so beautiful, if that makes sense. Now, for an example, Samuel L. Jackson, what I can say is that the pain, and not everything will be good, right? You will have mishaps when it comes to certain things. They all have mishaps, I noticed. But for instance, Samuel L. Jackson, he had a bigger purpose. Now, unfortunately, he did contradict the life of these people. He contradicted the life of these people. But for the bigger outcome, how many people are going to now wake up? You know what I'm saying? Just imagine, like, say for instance, they made a part 2 of Glass. I don't know if it is. There are no official plans for Glass sequels. So just imagine if, you know what I'm saying, they made a Glass 2, and then in the Glass 1244, and then in the Glass 2, it's like the video that was shown worldly to from like the family members. Now people are waking up. You know, all the people with personality disorders, now they're using their personality disorders in order to build stamina, strength. You know what I'm saying? And it's not, everybody don't have to be evil. Like, don't get me wrong. If someone was to be able to nurture people with gifts, you know what I'm saying? For instance, Kevin, if his gifts could have been nurtured, he could have been used right. But for instance, Bruce Willis, he used his gifts for right. He was extremely strong, and he used his gifts to save people. You know what I'm saying? So it's always a dark and a light, and you could choose which path you want to choose on. But that just goes to show how you can use your abilities and take and override certain things. You know what I'm saying? And choose which path you want to go. But you will have the power to do that. You know what I'm saying? We're not just like wimpy little humans. Whether it is a mental thing that you're extremely strong in, whether it's a physical thing, or whether it's an emotional thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Use your power at the end of the day. And that movie will show you. And if you have already watched that movie, I would say go watch it again with the aspects of what I have already told you or what I have broke down, and just see if it correlates to you, and see if you get any messages from it. You know what I'm saying? So yes, this was the movie Glass, and I hope that y'all enjoyed my analogy of it and just my expression. Right? So I love y'all, family. I'll be back with another one. Ashe.